Hello. Hey, I got some tea candles. What are they? Tea lights, they call them. They're a little smaller than I thought they would be. Votary candles, but they'll be fine. There's 100 of them here. Uh, Listed for $5 with shipping. It was more than that. But anyway, if you've followed some of my other videos, you know I'm using them to experiment with heating a barn. Uh, Actually, my hand. Anyway, here we are, the 47th, 47th or 48th video in this series, which I call State of the School, Frank's School, Camp Ranch Campus. And I finished with my listing of the various sites for water wheels, water power. Made some mistakes yesterday. One thing, when the water comes clear of the 24-foot wheel that goes over the top of Joyce's hut, it comes clear of it. I mentioned going to the right. Well, it would then run into the West Creek, not the East Creek. That was a mistake. I thought of a name for the really big flow, large volume flow wheel by the line shaft building below it. I'm going to call that the pigfold wheel, I think, because that's the most central spot to it. Either that or the wheel in the meadow, because it's not a very high fall. And one other thing, there is a name for that rapid spinning wheel at the bottom of the penstock, the one that's under pressure through a nozzle. That I'm going to call the wheel at the Hengst Fraser mills. They're just little platforms, but there's a whole series of them. And Hengst Fraser, those are the two names of the men who have been my neighbor ever first, Ronald Hengst, and now Fraser's my neighbor, and helped me so much with so many things. All right, now I'm going to turn to bridges, and I'm going to just do it in one video. I've got 3 bridges under construction. They've been under construction for a while. Like everything else, I have the material there, I have the site, I know what I want to build or need to build. I just haven't had the time or the company to do it. So many of these things would be more fun to do with somebody else. Let me start with the one up there at Michael Weir. That's the name of the place that the water starts on its way down to the barn on the west side of the hill here. I just recently spoke about it. It then goes over Joyce Falls. Anyway, right there, I need to build a bridge to restore my ability to drive up the tram road. Is the ancient original name of that access road into the woods. I have to build that bridge strong enough to carry my pickup. Like everything else, I have the material right there. It's just a matter of taking a day or two to assemble it and get it ready. In an emergency, I guess I could throw it together and drive up through there. It won't be covered. It'll be, because I've got to make it so a truck, even a fire truck, that would be a challenge. But certainly a pickup truck can drive up through there. That's one. Another one, I already mentioned it just recently, Gary Bridge, I call it. That's just a walking bridge. It'll be 4 feet wide, I guess more than walking, a four-wheeler. You'd be able to take a four-wheeler across it. And it's to get across the West Creek here. It's actually very awkward to go across that way and on because of that cliff. There's not very many places you can go up, but I have a spot. And that is largely built. I just have to put the top on it. The top will be in the size and shape. The top essentially will be a faux cut, but it won't have any inner stuff. It'll just be the shell of a faux cut. That's going to be my covered bridge. And then the third one is down here in the meadow, and I have it started as well. When it floods here, and it's very often swampy down there, and even when I get it all drained and nice, there isn't going to be a real easy way to get across Oppenheimer Run, the wet area there, and Oppenheimer Run to the other side. So that's going to be very long, very low bridge, walking or 4 foot wide again. And probably, at least ideally in my dreams, it would be a series of about maybe 6 faux cut shells because I'd like to make it a covered bridge as well. Wood deteriorates ultimately if it's out in the weather, especially when it's built into something tight together. So it should have a roof. Uh, and it floods. Boy, does it ever flood down there. I mean, the water goes through there. That's why it's got to be so long, because that walking bridge has got to be the whole way across that floodplain. Uh, and that bridge, does it have a name? I'm not sure if it does. Maybe I just call it the Long Bridge. But I did start to this extent. When I had to clean up the farm that we sold from my father-in-law, and instead of trying to have 2 farms, there was so much stuff to clean up. Well, one of the things I had to clean up was tires. Charles had never really gotten rid of tires, and I still have them. It was kind of part of my, what do you call it, dowry. But anyway, the tires, that are off the rims, you can pay to have them taken away. I don't know if there'll ever be a time where they'll pay you to take them. Maybe, I don't know. But the ones that are on a rim, no. And a lot of those tires are hopelessly on a rim. I mean, farmers are very tempted to just burn them off. But I didn't. And what do you do with a tire on a rim? Well, I've put them in the spots that will support the bridge. And I put them in such a way that when it floods, the water will go through them. They won't be any higher than they have to be. I mean, at this highest spot, this bridge will only be probably about that high. And so they're there. Alders are growing up all around them and through them. But I can cut my way through the alders, and I'll leave them there. That's fine. I'll build my bridge. Maybe I ought to call it the bridge in alders, or the bridge in the alders. I sort of like that. Anyway, those 3 bridges are under construction. I don't know if I'll get to them this year or not. But all right, there. I finished already my topic of bridges to be built on the Camp Ranch campus of Frank School. Bye for now.